How to finalize a plumbing project in Sydney. It'll help to know how to flush debris from supply pipes and how to spot even the tiniest leaks after finishing a plumbing project in Sydney. Here are some expert tips from our plumbers in Sydney, checking for leaks. Once you complete the job, and you're about to pack your tools, it's good to check whether there's any sediment sitting in the plumbing lines or whether there are any tiny leaks. There's no sure way to completely prevent these problems. However, you can take some precautions to be certain that there are no problems left after plumbing installation or repair. Condensation shouldn't fool you. High humidity often makes cold water lines sweat. The condensation formed makes it challenging to notice tiny leaks. However, it's possible to detect leaks on condensed pipes no matter how tiny they might be. Simply run water through the pipe. Allow the water to settle for some time to ensure it's in room temperature. Then wipe the supply line dry and check for leakage. Condensation can also result from the cold water running through the supply lines. Stress testing drain lines. You can test the drain lines for leakage by closing the sink with a stopper or cloth and filling it with water. Once done, open the sink drain opening to release the water in a gush. If the environment is humid, then add lukewarm water in the sink. Cold water may result in condensation on a drain line and this may conceal the leaks. Flush the toilet before caulking. Small leakages around the flange may form a puddle. The puddle may not form for months if the caulking around the flange is damming it. Thus, before caulking the flange, flush the toilet several times continuously and check for leaks using a paper strip. Using a piece of paper to detect drips. A newspaper or paper towel can easily detect a leak. You'll easily detect water leak once the paper gets soaked. Simply wipe off the suspected leak with a dry towel. Then place a newspaper or paper towel around the suspected area. If the paper gets wet, then that area is leaking. Locating water leaks with a tissue paper. It's easier to notice wet water spots on tissue paper than noting tiny droplets on pipes. Simply wipe off a suspected leak area with tissue paper and observe it after every swipe for wetness. Checking the sink rims. Use a wet cloth or sponge to dribble some water around the sink rim. Leaking sink rims may not show up immediately. Thus, check for leaks after some minutes from below the sink. Flushing out sediment. Supply pipes often contain sediments such as solder, pipe dope, mineral deposits, and corrosion. Plumbing tends to shake such sediment loose. As water flows, it'll carry the loose sediment to the fixtures and even plug them. You can prevent such problems by flushing them out with running water. Sediment trapped within the fill valve might make your toilet a bit fill slowly. Trapped sediment may also make your toilet run constantly. You can flush the sediment by running water and draining it into a container before connecting the supply pipe to the toilet. You don't have to flush the pipes after every plumbing job. Your actions should depend on the type and age of the plumbing. For instance, newer homes that have PEX plumbing may demand removing the aerators prior to flushing. On the contrary, galvanized steel supply pipes may have excessive debris that may demand more tricks to remove. Watch the water volume and pressure when flushing. You'll need high water volume and pressure when flushing out debris. You'll need high water volume especially when flushing washing machine and outdoor hoses. When flushing, ensure the faucet you're working on is facing downstream to allow for smooth water flow. Remember that washing machine supply hoses may have some screens that may easily get plugged. Luckily, you can easily remove them for cleaning. When flushing supply lines, you should turn off the faucet after every 1 minute. If the supply lines are extremely long, then allow for the water to run for more minutes. It'll be wiser to waste little water than repairing plugged faucets. Protecting the showerhead. Showerheads designed as low flow have small openings that may get plugged even by the smallest particle. Thus, run the tub's faucet first before running the shower. If the shower doesn't have a tub spout, then detach the showerhead. Once done, flush its supply line. Flush cold and hot water separately. Open the faucet completely for maximum water flow. Removing aerators. The aerator usually catches tiny sediments flowing through the faucet. Always remove the aerator first before flushing the pipe. Then clean the aerator and reattach it.